Hello again, welcome back to Thailand MICE Virtual Expo and the first in a series of webinar in the next 2 days. And the first topic for today is trends in the events industry. As you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has turned the world upside down in 2020. It has reshaped the way we live, the way we do businesses, and the events industry has been affected as well. So we saw a lot of concerns when it comes to safety, a rise in virtual and hybrid events, and the more use of technology to help people stay connected and to stay engaged. But what does the future hold? What is the trends to watch out for in the coming years? So joining us today, we have experts, industry leaders who can give you first-hand knowledge and experience on the MICE sector. So I'm very pleased to introduce you to our guest, Sornchat Krainara, Vice President of Thailand International Events and Festivals Trade Association, or TIEFA, and CEO, Festival Owner of the Living Art Company Limited. Piyapong Muenprasertdee, Association Director of TIEFA and co-founder of FUNGJAI Company Limited, in charge of educational, governmental and overseas partnership. Pongsiri Hetrakul, Association Director of TIEFA and Festival Director of Awakening Bangkok. And also, we are very happy to have Mr. Ricki van Rensburg with us, the co-founder of the SWEDIT application. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today. Let me begin with asking this first question to Kun Ricki, as before we get into the trends and all, we'd like to have a panelist explain to the audience briefly about their businesses. So Ricki, one of the fast-growing events business today is the sporting industry, I would say, the sporting events. You have been in the industry for over a decade. You're the co-founder of the Music Run. You've been involved in Spartan Race, and also you are the co-founder of SWEDIT application. That's a global fitness community. So tell us a bit about how this powerful tool works and how does it help engage people and its place in the industry today.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for having me. It's really good to be here. As you mentioned, I've been in the fitness and sporting event industry for a very long time in this part of the world. And we noticed a couple of challenges and a couple of problems that we really wanted to solve. With SWEDIT, we wanted to create a platform that really targeted two main issues for event organizers. First and foremost, around community and sponsorship engagement, and then secondly, around creating additional revenue streams for these event organizers, especially going into the COVID period. And so we've created a really powerful, amazing platform. It's really simple. The way it works is any event organizer can go ahead and set up their own profile, their own event within the app. It's obviously predominantly focused around sports and health and wellness. And any fitness tracking device that you can use, you can plug into our app, and your participants can go ahead and do their activity, whether it's meditation or yoga or Tai Chi or going for a run. And they can then plug that into our app and they earn credits for that, which they can compete on various leaderboards. And most importantly, they can use those credits to spend on rewards and gifts from your sponsors. So create some really nice, meaningful engagement there. So just a really fun all-round app for the sports and health and fitness events.
So you sweat and you get credits.
That's exactly how it works. So the name is essentially SWEDIT, which is sweat and credit mixed, and that's exactly it. We really want to try, obviously, in the current climate, health and wellness is an incredibly important thing. It's on top of everybody's mind at the moment, and should be forever. And so a lot of what we're trying to do is really drive motivation and really encourage people to get out, get fit, and get healthy. And we feel that a lot of the brands and the events and sponsors out there have the ability to help motivate that and help drive that motivation and help their participants get fit and healthy in a fun way while engaging with their brands.
It's a great reason to sweat for them.
Exactly.
All right. Now, our next question for Kun Pongsiri. As mentioned earlier, you are the Association Director of TIEFA and Festival Director of Awakening Bangkok. That's the annual Festival of Light, and it's hosted in Charoen Krung, the so-called Creative District here in the city. So tell us a bit about this festival and also explain to us a bit more, why is Charoen Krung the Creative District?
Right. First of all, why Bangkok first?
Yeah.
Well, Bangkok to me is well, we have one of the most charming city in the world, and especially Riverside, and also the old part of the city that's very charmed. But however, though, some part of the city, I would say, like have been abandoned. Some part of the building has been abandoned and lost interest in, until you get a light shining to them, right? And you can see the shining back. So Awakening Bangkok is one of the one kind of festival that we would call an urban lighting festival, where we put lighting installation, light arts into part of the neighborhoods, like into galleries, into creative space, and every interesting places in the neighborhood. Well, as you can see on the slide here, well, the lighting installation would become like this. Well, partially outdoor event, 10 days free at 10 festival. We are aiming to, well, create I would call like nighttime economy into the neighborhood, and also in the long run, we would expect, as in the other cities that had a big urban lighting festival as well, to have increase and inbound travelers to the city. Well, last year, since it's free at 10 festival for 10 days, we have a total number of around 120,000 people attended events. Well, and very interesting and fluctuated a number of people then, because like, well, it's an outdoor event, it's a city event. Everything that hitting the city will affect our event as well. So PM 2.5 last year, and COVID hit us a bit hard, but well, COVID coming, the second one of the COVID is actually the last day of our event. So well, unlucky for the city, but well, we just have that for one day. Well, it's a very photogenic event though. So if you want to know more about what the event is, well, follow the hashtag on Instagram, Awakening Bangkok, or Awakening Bangkok 2020. Well, you can see a bit about that. Well, to summary though, last year we're doing about 39 lighting spots with 20 locations, and there's 11 restaurants and 16 bars around the neighborhood joining us for celebrating the festival. So yeah, that would be a very rough summary of the festival.
Mm-hmm. And the theme last year was kind of interesting because you highlighted the current crisis and, of course, showing people to hope for a better future through these creative expressions. Right.
Well, wow, you do the homework then. Well, that's well, the theme of the festival last year is about, well, reimagine, because like we already closed down the city for almost like 4 or 5 months. So the theme is about like reopen and reimagine how would we redefine the neighborhood and moving forward to the future.
So Jalon Krung now has its own identity, became a creative district.
Well, yes, currently. Well, not only our festival though. Well, we are the only lighting festival, but there's also Bangkok Design Week, which is organized by CEA in the neighborhood area as well. And I think there will be a lot of city festival to come.
Mm-hmm. Interesting
in the
indeed.
area.
Our next question for Kun Piyapong. We'll take a look at another festival, that is the Bangkok Music City, organized by FUNGJAI, which is a music community platform solutions-based company. It's a company based in Bangkok, that is. So I believe that it is Thailand's first international music conference and showcase festival. Can you tell us more about Thailand's music scene, and how does FUNGJAI play in its role in helping create opportunities for the homegrown talents?
Okay. But before that, I'd just like to mention that Tom is also my co-founder.
Right, and I have to mention again that, well, Bangkok Music City is another city festival they're doing in Jalon Krung neighborhood as well. Well, Awakening Bangkok is lighting, Bangkok Music City about music that's spreading through the neighborhood.
Yes. So
you guys are best friends?
Well, best partners, I could say.
Yeah.
All right, that's great.
Right. So actually, we both are musicians, and that's why we are so passionate in the local music scene. So what I do in FUNGJAI to help with the scene, basically we actually do a lot. So My background was actually in sustainable development, sustainability and climate change, actually. I used to be a consultant in that field, and I tried to use the knowledge and skill sets that I had from that old job into my new job in music. I see that the Thai music ecosystem isn't that strong yet compared to a lot of countries. I've interned and worked in the States, and have seen that their independent musicians are more capable of surviving more than Thai independent musicians. So I thought that there should be some things that could be improved in the ecosystem. So we do work with the community a lot. We have a music streaming platform that is self-uploading, so the artists can self-upload their music there. There's a community of listeners who are ready to listen to strange kind of music, non-mainstream. So we engage with them via social media like Facebook, and also our events such as concerts and festivals. One other festival that we host is called Maharashop Festival, which is an international music festival. We have international artists, but also local artists performing. And for other stuff that we do, we also work a lot with the government agencies such as CEA, Creative Economy Agency, NIA, the National Innovation Agency, and also TIEFA, the host of this event. So we try to work with the government a lot because we believe that PPPs or private-public partnerships are key to developing the industry forward. I mean, not just the music industry, but also creative industries, film industries, any industry at all, yeah. So we try to develop like programs, and we try to get funding from the government. For example, Bangkok Music City is mostly funded by these government agencies. And we are very lucky to be working with people in the government agencies who see the importance of arts and music and creativity. And we hope to get more funding so that we can expand our idea to be somewhat a South by Southwest kind of event. We want to help export Thai music, but not only Thai music. We want to help bring in international music professionals to come over to Thailand to come see our artists, and also Southeast Asian artists, and also artists from all over the world who want to connect with our community to come and meet with each other at our event.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's Bangkok Music City. Now let's take a look at arts.
Yes.
We have the festival owner of the Living Art, organizer of art and culture festivals, and I believe that you have created many cultural events, and a number of them are being held in Phuket, one of the hardest hit provinces by the coronavirus crisis. So tell us a bit about your platform. How has the journey been and the challenges facing the arts industry since COVID struck?
Okay. Actually, you know, art is very difficult to the showcase for Thai people. Luckily, I got support from TIEFA about a couple of years. And then I made decision to do something in Phuket. And TIEFA we discussed because TIEFA is our strategic partner, okay? Could we do something for Phuket, I mean like last long? Then I prepared this kind of work for 2 years before COVID, you know. We have the intention to do like creative city hub for Phuket. Because Phuket itself, they are, I mean like the infrastructure or the logistics, they're ready, you know, like the world destination. But just the thing that's Phuket spoiled because of the tourism, you know. So their activity is not continuously at all. The strategy and the vision of us and TIEFA, we would like to do something continuously and last long. So I create the Living Art Festival. It's not only art or contemporary art. We focus on the creative and lifestyle as well. And we plan to launch this in 2019. You know, we just announced, and the COVID just, you know, hit really hard. You know, people in Phuket, they lost job suddenly. You know, not only 1,000 people, I think more than 10,000 people that lost. Luckily, nowadays we got the technologies, you know. And then before the festival, I got an offer from our main venue to have like the physical gallery. It's a great showcase, and luckily I got the partner who is a developer for AR and VR. So mainly we present the gallery with the art piece first. Actually, so for VR and AR, it is not only just interactive activity, but it's developed to e-commerce. It's the most important, you know. When I launched the gallery in August 2019, people just worry because it's during the COVID time. But luckily, we got this technology, so people can access and know about our gallery and our festival. So I think we're lucky that we have the digital technology that we can present, or people can engage, not just physically. This is the thing that we've done. Yeah.
So what's the current climate like now in Phuket when it comes to the arts industry?
Luckily, at that time, I worked with the community as well. You know, we got very good collaboration. During the festival, 3 days, we got the engagements. I mean, like people show up, 5 venues. It is not only at the main venue as Butri Lagoon, but we spread around the island. Okay, so it's coming, you know, like shaking the island now. That's, you know, people had never thought about art and creative in Phuket before, and it's happened like in the old town now. They just got the passion from our work, and they create, you know, like every Saturday night that they try to bring people to get together with lifestyle. Yes.
I see. So Kun Sornchat has given us an idea about her business and already got into some of the trends that we see in the arts world. So this next question, let me throw it over back to Ricki. And when it comes to the sporting events industry, what are the changes you saw or the trends that will be picking up in this festival economy?
Sure, yeah. So I think obviously an incredibly difficult time for, you know, especially when you're looking at mass participation events and things like that, where, you know, there's been this massive scramble to try understand what is possible and what we can actually do. And, you know, there's been some great sort of initiatives by a lot of the organizers out there going virtual, doing virtual events, trying to switch onto that virtual platform. And so I think it's been a challenge, but I think a lot of them have done it incredibly well. And I think one of the interesting spaces that we're in at the moment is that the technology somewhat is catching up to what we need in the event industry. And so I don't think we've necessarily seen everything that's going to be kind of possible in terms of a trend moving forward. So yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of it is just really initially has been people just trying to get online and create these events in some sort of virtual space in a safe way. And I think the next step now is how people are going to engage their participants more. And I think that's maybe where the focus needs to kind of moving forward.
So engagement is one of the challenges we hear. Sure. So how do you intend to redefine engagement when it comes to your platform?
Sure. Well, yeah, I think that's the whole thing, right? In the past, I'm talking specifically around sporting events now, or mass participation events. All the engagement happens on the day. So, you know, a huge amount of work is done to put on these fantastic events and have these race villages and you know, these big running tracks and all that kind of thing. But all that engagement with both with the participants amongst each other, but also that engagement that's happening with the sponsors is all happening on that particular day. And so what we've really tried to do from our side, and we're seeing that in the industry, is how do we create these touch points and these engagement moments outside of just that event day, and how do we make them more meaningful? And so our belief is really it's around building more community and creating more long-term engagement with your participants, not just this one-off event moment, you know. And I think kind of looking forward into the more hybrid event space that we're going to be moving into for sure. You know, I think there's going to be a lot smaller events, but maybe a lot more of them. Or events that were 1 day may go onto 3-day or 5-day events. And so the keeping people engaged on a daily basis and whatever is going to be the trick that people need to get right, I think. And so with our platform, that is very much our focus, is how do we engage people every single day? How do we get them engaging with your brands and with your event every single day? You know, one of the things we noticed is at every running event, just running event for example, almost every single participant at some point or another picks up their phone or taps on their watch and engages with their health and fitness tracker. And so we saw that as a real big touch point. And so we've really built our app around integrating various fitness trackers and that kind of thing, so that every single time you go for a run or you do a meditation session or you know, use an app for a workout, you can then engage with those particular brands and sponsors by being on a platform like ours or one of the others. So yeah, that's how we've done it.
Kun Tom, what do you see as the trends?
Well, I would say, hybrid, as he said.
Hybrid and micro events as well?
Yeah, hybrid would be, well, I would say hybrid would be one of the trends, but I would say at the core, stepping back one step. I think I would say it like this. First of all, need to get the core right and still having the core idea of the event there. The other format, the other possibility of doing events can be changed. Like, so if I can have my slide back again on the slide that I just presented. For example, there are events that I know one of the collectible toy event, Thailand Comic Con, I can say the name. Thailand Comic Con, last year though, they are doing their events because like most of the transaction in festival, they're selling toys, right? So they are doing, last year they are doing the festival partnering with one of the largest shopping application in Thailand and doing it as a 100 online event. And the number of the toys they are selling is quite high, even though they are not doing physical festival. For me though, this is the format that I found. Well, the core of the event is still the lighting festival, but as the format of the festivals, it's expanding to many places in the neighborhood. So every places you can have the temperature check, you can have a mask check, you can have an alcohol gel for washing hands.
All the safety regulations.
Right. On every venues. Means that if you have 20 venues, you can have 20 checkpoint. It's at the same rate as you are going to hospital, like washing hands 20 times when going somewhere else. Well, that's one format that I found as well. I think it would be good idea for some of the festival that, well, if you are not thinking about gathering people into the same place, what about thinking distributed all those people into different places in the neighborhood? Well, that would be one possibility of doing like large people festival during the COVID as well.
Kun Pai, what about the music scene? We hear a lot of trends. We hear things like VR, AR, and mixed reality. Can you tell us a bit more about what you think when it comes to these changes and technologies implemented in the music scene?
The technologies are available, but it's not widespread yet. So that's one of the, the barriers to reaching that trend. So if the VR technology, like the personal headsets, are cheaper and there's more available in the market, then of course, yes, the virtual music events would become even more advanced, more accessible to the majority of the market. Right now, most of the virtual events that we see, and also the ones that we organize, are handset kind of events, meaning that people would watch the festivals and the performances through their mobile phones.
I see.
Which is not, the best kind of experience. But that's
the easiest way to enjoy. It's the easiest way, though.
It's easy, yes, and it's also, well, there's not many choices when you can't go anywhere because of COVID, right? But the thing is, it's only for this particular moment. If COVID goes away, people would want to come out and join, physical events again, because that's what people are. We are social animals, and we want to get the real experience. So in the past year, I've been attending quite a few virtual events, virtual conferences. And one of the things about music conferences is that music people really want that human connection. In order to do business, we want to become friends with each other first. We want to, drink with each other first. So from that physical friendship, then it turns into actual business. And through virtual, it makes it really hard. I mean, we do have drinking sessions via Zoom, but that's not the same, right?
I can understand.
Yes. So we also had business matchings between music business professionals and artists. I mean, that is a very cost-effective kind of way, yes. But still, the potential buyers, the talent buyers, they want to see the artist perform live in front of a live audience and themselves being in that audience so that they can feel the vibe, feel the energy before they book the artist. So right now, the only thing that they want to do is actually to do the digital distribution, the publishing part of it, not really the touring part. So, I mean, virtual will definitely be, in the future. We are going to adapt to it, and the technology will become better. It would be kind of like a second life for all of us, yes. But until that day, we still would crave for physical, for sure.
May I add into this one?
Please.
Well, there's a saying that, speaking about device, because the major reason for AR, VR, and XR that's not been distributed a lot or adopted more because, it's because of the device, right? There's a saying that the best device you can have is actually the device that you don't have to wear anything, right? So it's currently the device is very bulky. Like if you would like to have the VR goggle, it's bulky, and you have to have the controller and all those, right? Well, I would say on that standpoint, we are not even reaching the first step of virtual world yet. There's forecasting that the disruption of virtual experience will be around 2030. So I would say we are about to go into the first step of that.
Well, there's a start, right? As Kun Sornchat mentioned, she was pretty successful in organizing the event last year before the second outbreak of COVID struck. And the response was very good. You mentioned earlier 50 million views or engagement. And from the revenue generated was close to 1 million baht. And that's through the use of virtual reality and AR.
Okay. Actually, it's not really about VR or AR. As I quite agree with Kun Piyapong and Kun Tom about, because it needs more development. This is just like a showcase about the technology. Actually, as Kun Piyapong said, at the end, people, they need to get together because people need to socialize. This is just people try to survive from the current situation. Okay, VR is suitable for something, but not suitable for the interactive, if for the entertainment. it's quite useful for the museum or for the gallery, you know. But the reality is after that, the back of the house, I mean like the detail before the coming up to
preparation.
The preparation is very, very difficult and the cost is still high. Okay, let's say if you would like to present something to the e-commerce, you need the professional, I mean like photographers and e-commerce, digital technologies, POS system, inventory, even though, you know, for the social planner. So I could say at the moment VR and AR is just the current situation that people try to survive and I mean like, you know, to make a move at at the moment. And I could say that for the conference, virtual reality or the AR might be good at the present time, you know, because they did not need a lot of interactive. But for the entertainment, you know, like music and food and, you know, gastronomic, it still needs interactive. So we still need physical, you know, to participate and collaborate. Yes.
I see. Okay,
Oh,
sure.
sorry.
Yes, please.
After you.
All right. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say that yes, I seem to be saying stuff a little bit negative, right? But I probably forgot to mention that it also depends on the expected experience, right? For example, what's that artist again that did the concert in a game?
You mean the virtual?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tupac Shakur did and Snoop Dogg did you
Yeah,
mean the
right.
VR, the
Yeah.
virtual
It's very
reality.
successful.
There's one doing in game.
Yeah,
Yes,
lots of
normally it's
in-games.
like the games, you know.
I
But
see.
luckily, I just
I
learned
know.
recently about the gallery. The things about VR for the gallery, we don't need the physical venue. We can do like the platform, Imaginarium. We say Imaginarium gallery. Okay, let's say the product or the art piece don't have to come to the gallery. It's still with the artist, but we have to create the system that people can access with the smartphone and get the information about the I say like the subject, and then it can be going to purchasing. This is just, I mean, for the gallery is quite, you know, quite good, and no need for warehouse, no need for, you know, a lot of people at the shop. But as I said, for the technologies in the back of the house, it's a lot of work as well, a lot of preparation. And the price, you know, the cost to develop is still quite high if you did not get, I mean, like the right partner that's willing to develop together. It's very costly.
Yeah, I think there was one thing I wanted to say was I do think the technology is trying to catch up with us. I think the events industry, you know, we're pretty resilient, we're very creative, and I think a lot of amazing new ideas are coming out, and we need to find you know, technology needs to catch up with us and be able to offer us what we can at a price we can afford and all that kind of thing. And I think that's just going to take a bit of time to happen. But what I think is vitally important is that as event organizers, we get on board with the tech side. I think event organizers need to, moving forward, be prepared to have developers or part of their team and things like that, so that you are on top of the game. It's not going to go away. You know, the virtual world and all of that. We may have hybrid events and that sort of thing, but I think it's here to stay. And the new venue is a screen, and that venue needs to be managed and looked after. And so yeah.
I mean, technology should catch up with the real thing, yes. But I was thinking of my own experience back in like probably 2005. I was addicted to GTA, San Andreas.
Yeah.
So I played it so much that every time I walk or run or move, I was feeling that I was moving the joystick.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, instead of, you know, making it mimic the real thing, it's like if you change the function or the experience of the festival into what people are already used to, for example, the in-game concert, then that's the way they move, that's the way they interact with their environment. Probably that's also another option for virtual events.
Yeah.
On this point, I have one thing to add though. Well, I think, well, there are so many examples about virtual event currently. Well, there's some virtual festival that trying to mimic or trying to imitate the real experience that there is in a physical world. But there is another types of experience which I would say the focus of the future of virtual experience is on that side. The key to develop the virtual experience is actually trying to build something that's not available in the real world, right? That's the key, especially in entertainment business though. So, such as if you're trying to do, let's say like a virtual art gallery, right? You I would say at one point in time you will find that seeing the actual painting would be better than experience that in virtual reality, right? But if you wanted to trying to do an art event in virtual reality, why limit yourself in just a physical gallery, right? You can do like a very out of space immersive kind of art in that, right? And I would say that's the key to doing like a virtual festival, like the example that we forgot the name of the artist though. Well, it's in the game Fortnite, right? It's not a staging kind of music festival anymore.
Is it Michael something?
No, it was a girl, wasn't it? I seem to remember.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll go find out later.
Right. Well, it's in Fortnite. The stage of music festival is not a staging type of festival anymore. The artist came down to the, I would say like the playing space by a meteor, right? And then he's playing using that comet as a stage. And then at third or fourth song, people is actually moving up to the space and listening to his concert by moving together with the comet, right? It's like, let's say it's like experiencing a music festival in the ring of the Saturn, kind of those, right? So this kind of experience cannot be happen in physical world, right? So I think that's the key, and that's the reason for audience to have an intention to get into the festival, right? Experiencing something that's not real.
And also for the gallery part, I mean, there's a technology that you can see, you know, the painting through like a microscope. You can shrink yourself down to see the grains of the paper and the paint pigments. So if you get a different experience, different from the real world, maybe that's something attractive as well, and you can do it through the technologies that are available.
So while we're still in the pandemic, these are some of the technologies to watch out for and to better the attendees' experience. Moving on to our next question, we have limited time. This is about the key takeaways, the lessons that you've learned from what has happened out of this, pandemic across the globe. I'd like you to share your ideas with us. Let me go back to Kun Tom in this question.
Well, again, I would stress my same points though. So for festival owner, the key takeaway for this pandemic is that be able to look through the core of your festival. Keep that. The rest are the possibility that you can change always. The format of the festival can change. How audience interact with your festival can be changed. Well, it's either a hybrid or purely online, or like if you're doing a massive kind of concert, then spreading through the neighborhood or city festival, that would be one of the formats you can do, but keeping the core of the festival there, right? That would be my learning from this pandemic period.
Kun Sornchat, would you like to share?
Yeah, I agree with Kun Tom. Yes, the most important is to your target audience, and the key is if you have your target audience, the core of the festival is mean like the content design. should be, related to target audience that we would like to get them. That's it, the things.
Ricki?
Yeah, I think maybe just echoing what I was saying earlier. I think if you're in the event space, I think the sooner you can get your staff and yourself up to speed with the technology that's out there, and learn how to use it well. I think the audience is becoming, in the beginning we're very forgiving when there was technical difficulties and that kind of thing. I think that's starting to go away now. I think people are expecting better virtual experiences and all of that. So I think move with the times and look ahead and try to prepare yourself as much as possible for the technology side of the events world that we're moving into.
Okay. So before we move further, may I show you just 1 minute about the, AR and VR?
Oh, we have a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Video, please.
Video, please. Yeah. Not this one, the last one. Okay.
All right, we'll check out the video. And of course, the technology used at the Living Art.
Yes.
I believe that now you have like a very good VR team.
Yeah.
Wow.
more questions that we can be discussed after the session.
All right. So we have a little bit of time. I'd like to throw this next question over to Kun Pai. It's a question I have about the music industry. As it was once mentioned that this can be one of the nation's economic drivers as it can be incorporated into the tourism sector. You mentioned about creating music tourism. So I'd like to know, what are the strategies you're looking ahead?
Wow, you gave me a really difficult one. But yeah, with only 2.5 minutes. So I'd like to have Tom here help me.
Sure.
So the thing is, Thailand, we have the biggest live music industry in Southeast Asia. And then we also have a lot of freedom in expression, even though the news might say otherwise. But we do have a lot of musicians, we do have a lot of creativity, and there is a lot of interest from overseas wanting to learn more about our musicians. But the thing is, because of our language barrier, we think that because we sing in Thai, we don't sing in English, we cannot be exported. But there are a lot of people who are open to listening to music that they don't understand. You can look at K-pop. Not many people in the world understand Korean, but they do enjoy K-pop. Why not? So there's a Thai band called Yellowfang. They sing in Thai, but they've been touring all over Southeast Asia. They went to South by Southwest, played in Summer Sonic in Japan. They played South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, India. I mean, people are open to our music, and I think that Thai musicians need to explore, the venues that they can export their music to. I mean, one of the ways is Bangkok Music City, obviously, which we do bring like international delegates who are music professionals from over the world. They are festival owners, booking agents, touring agents, whatsoever. Yeah.
I can add some short comment though. So, well, Bangkok has every factor, I would say, that attractive to the travelers to coming in. Well, what left of us that if we want to push the travel economy more is the content, right? So they're here for food, or they're here for the temple, and they like the vibe of the city already. Right? If you put in well, more content that they like into the city, then it's automatically generating more economy to the city and to the country.
Yeah, we got the musicians, we got the venues.
Right.
And one of the people who said it best is the singer of Plastic Section. He said that Bangkok is a beautiful chaos.
Right.
I mean, yeah, beautiful stuff everywhere.
All right. I'd just like to end this with a question for Kun Sornchat and Ricki. If there are any interesting activities coming in the pipeline, and if the MICE industry can capitalize or connect with your events brands.
Okay, Ricki.
Yeah, so I mean, from our perspective, we are in the process of engaging with a bunch of really great partners and great brands which are creating these really fun, unique events on our platform. So we would love everyone to come and check it out. And you can do that by going to sweditapp.com and download the app and get fit and healthy. And we've got plenty of challenges and events for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment, yes, we still, need engagement. So it means like if we could not do like physically, we still need, people worldwide can engage to the information that we would like to present. And when we're ready, I mean, Phuket is still world destination. Yes.
All right, well, we're running out of time now, so thank you so much for joining us. You've certainly given us the interesting trends, what to look out for, things to actually think about, and as we hope for the industries to recover post-COVID. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our speakers, Kun Sornchat Krainara, Vice President of TIEFA and also CEO and Festival Owner of the Living Art, Kun Piyapong Muenprasertdee, Associate Director of TIEFA and also Co-Founder of FUNGJAI, Kun Pongsiri Hetrakul, Association Director of TIEFA and Festival Director of Awakening Bangkok, and Ricki van Rensburg, Co-Founder of the SWEDIT application. And that was the trends in the events industry, the first in a series of webinars at the Thailand MICE Virtual Expo. Coming up next, we have another topic that is driving the event and MICE industry in Thailand, perspectives and practices, discussed by the Special Events Deputy Director, Business Relations Division of Amway. We have the President of TIEFA who will be joining us in the next session, and also Managing Director of VNU Asia Pacific. All right, we'll be right back, so stay with us right here at Thailand MICE Virtual Expo. And from all of us here, goodbye. สวัสดีค่ะ